our Chillaxin pose. So we're going to get the swing behind our back and then come to a comfortable sumo seated position. It's like you kind of miss it after a day, right? Beautiful. In our sumo squat, we're going to incorporate our leg loops for Chillaxin. Let's start out in Chillaxin. We will be practicing our training wheels, which is a neck release. That's what we're going for, is releasing the neck. So Chillaxin is the leg loops at the knees. Yesterday we practiced floating Buddha with the leg loops at the ankles a lot. Now we're going back to our basics. So in Chillaxin pose, we support the head. Even this is a great neck stretch, so that I was going around and tractioning the back of the neck. We're going to learn the Chillaxin yoga massage sequence next. So that'll be really good to get into the neck and shoulders from here. Adding a little swagger in the swing. Not only are we releasing the neck and shoulders, but we're also opening up the lower back and hips. You can feel that, right? Mm-hmm. Both the front of the hips and the back of the hips benefit from this pose. Let's reach forward for our knees. Make sure we're holding onto our leg loops. Slide up as high as you can. Inhale, bicep curl up. We're going to pull ourselves up, and then we squeeze our legs together to come to stand. Great. Okay. So walk your feet to the front of the mat. Okay. The swing is going to be nice and high on our back, and we're going to lean into it. There you go. Ground your feet. Yeah. So keep the feet anchored, and then we're just going to come into Chillaxin arms just to have a moment to sway from side to side. Yeah. You have to feel. Make sure everything's in a good position, right? And then we can transition to the neck. I'm going to go ahead and take my little guys off here because they don't like the neck stretches as much as I do. It's just like my wings are like, wait a second.
They're cute earrings.
Yeah, I like my wings. So what we're going to do is remove any jewelry or anything that might be in the way of getting a deep stretch. Necklaces, anything like that. If you can, have them take it off. Okay. That way you really have a clear path to the neck and shoulders. We're going to hold on above our head, right? And so this allows us to undulate the spine, the sort of the spine up and down. So we have a few different options here. We want to be as conservative as possible to begin. We keep the legs engaged, and we're going to inhale, lift the chin, and pull with our hands on the leg loops, on the swing. And then exhale, tuck in, and then we let our body hang. So here, you can bend your knees a little bit and let your body hang. Feet touch. Mm-hmm. And then we press our feet in, arch and open, pull, and then exhale. Tuck the chin in and hang. Yeah. So we just add a little bit more weight there. Does that feel good? Mm-hmm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round in. Tuck the chin in. So really look towards your navel here. Yeah. Is that okay on your neck?
That feels awesome.
Oh, good. This will really work out any of that scar tissuing, any of that buildup, as long as there's no pain. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and bring our feet a little bit wider. I keep holding on for support. I'm going to press my feet into the ground to sway from side to side. So instead of pulling with my arms, I'm really letting my lower body, kind of like we do in Weeping Willow. We're going to let the upper body sway. Okay, so yeah, feet are pressing in strongly. I'm pressing back. And the swing is turning my head from side to side. Right? Pretty amazing getting into the MCL and the scalenes and all that tightness that lives on the side of the body, all the way up into the neck. You can make these really big sways, or you can slow down and pause at the edges and hold it. It's what feels good for your body today. The chin that stays neutral. So your chin's a little bit high, yeah. Let it stay neutral, and then you can really work the occipital ridge. Okay, cool. So let's press back, right ear, right shoulder, pull the left hand away. And just let that feel good to pull on that diagonal to get a little bit of more tractioning in the space. And then neutral, left ear, left shoulder, pull right hand away on the diagonal. Find your favorite chin position. Maybe chin in feels better than chin up, but why don't you play with it? Usually I'll nod for a couple breaths just to find the space where I'm getting the most relief. Good. And then back to neutral. One more time. Right ear, right shoulder, and then just nod while your head is turned. as long as it feels good, and really find that place where the tension gets the most relief. Back to center, lift your left shoulder. Just play with it for a few breaths. Usually I can get some really deep release here with neck and shoulder tension. Okay, great. And then we end with our chin tucked into our chest. Why don't we go ahead and lift our knees a little bit more and just play maybe with a deeper stretch. Chin tucked in will keep the cervical spine safe. We don't ever want to see somebody really kinked here, because if you put pressure on the spine while it's compressed, you can really damage the vertebrae. Okay? Alrighty. So from there, we come back up to stand. Let's go right into our hammock pose. Okay, push the swing down. Get your arms around. We're going to let ourselves land in our chillaxin and then transition from there into hammock. Let's start with the left leg extended. We can spread the leg loop out or have it bunched. If we do the more restorative version, the leg loop spread out makes it easier to stay longer. And then the right foot is going to come in and cross over the ankle on the left. Yeah, take that leg loop off. With our extra leg loop, we're going to go ahead and put that right behind the neck. So hammock pose for the neck, I usually just hang out here. Now I can spread out the main swing a little bit if I need a little bit more room and spaciousness. Sometimes it'll be twisted, sometimes I can get it spread out. But really what we want to focus on is relaxing the chin towards the chest, and the same thing where we're letting our body weight do the work. And pressing the hips up gently will deepen the pose. If I want to do a few undulations, I can reach up and hold on to the leg loop, and then I can lift my chest, but I have to be holding on. Right? Tucking the chin in, you can drop the hips, and lift up. Play with it until it feels good. If anybody has had an injury or surgery, you want to be extra conservative with these poses. As long as it feels good, you're in the right place. I like to spread the leg loop out over the full length of the ear to make sure the chin is tucked in. And then to come into a deeper shoulder stretch, let's just go ahead and incorporate that in now. We put this on like we're putting on a t-shirt. So underneath both arms, behind the back. And then we can open up the arms for a deeper chest stretch. Right. So we can drop our hips. If we want it to be less of a back bend, we can press our hips up. If we want it to be more of a back bend, we just decide where do we want to be today. Beautiful. Usually 1 or 2 minutes hanging up here feels really good. Let's change sides. Reach up, grab for the leg loop, pull yourself back up, and then get it off from behind the back and release it all together. Come through a floating Buddha. So we're going to put the leg loop back on. I like it spread out. Why don't we try bunching it up for this side just so we can feel the difference. Okay? Yeah. We take the left one off. We still cross the ankles, which is okay to stack them, but I do find it to be a little bit more comfortable to like thread my foot through and make an X with the leg loop so that the ankles have a little bit of cushion. So take the left leg loop off.
Take the left one off.
This one? Oh. Is this your left? I'm like saying it backwards.
I thought you had two on it for a minute because you wrapped it.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I call it threading through, where you can stack the ankles. Nice. It's, try it one more time. Yep, you had it. Is that right? That's fine. As long as it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah. So I take the extra leg loop, I put it behind my back, underneath the neck. Let's just do behind the head first. Spread it out over the full length of the ears. Push the hips up, and notice how you get a very gentle. This would be more gentle than training wheels, right? Depending on where the tightness is living. But I do find that this one's a little bit easier for people to get into, and we can incorporate this into our floating Buddha sequence. And then if you want to reach up and hold on to the leg loop, then we can try arching lifting the chin, leaning back into it. And then I drop my hips, spread the leg loop out, cover the full length of the ears again, tuck my chin into my chest. Good, you got it. Is that feeling good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. To go into a bigger back bend, this would be more for the chest and the shoulders. We're going to put the leg loop on, like we're putting on a t-shirt underneath both arms, and then the arms can be wide, hanging down. The more you push your hips up, the deeper the stretch. We can go into a big back bend, or we can just keep the hips dropped and come into a smaller back bend. It's really up to us how far we go. Chillaxin arms is always a nice alternative if anybody feels tension in their neck in the back bend. We support the head. Okay. Cool. To come on out, we just unfurl, take the leg loop off from underneath. Okay. Stand into floating Buddha, and take a moment to reset here. We can bunch it up, both ankles. Come into our windshield wipers. And pause. Any questions about the next stretches?
It felt really good.
Can you feel the difference? It's
Yeah,
kind of altering.
really
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure that is released when we do that.